was 8 p.m. on a school evening. I was sweaty, endorphins and hormones running through me, and no, get your mind out the gutter, I hadn't been doing that. I just completed my first ever workout. It was probably about 15 to 20 minutes, and I was in my room, and I remember how genuinely proud and accomplished, yet how tired I felt. I remember how long those 40 seconds of work felt and how short the 20 seconds of rest was. And it had been through an accumulation of things that I had done in my life, which led me to doing push-ups in my bedroom at 8 o'clock on a school evening. One word: anorexia. For the last few years, I had gone through the absolute hardest period of my whole life. I'd gone through an eating disorder, which I wouldn't even wish upon my own worst enemy. And I remember I was at such a low point in my life. I was looking for absolutely any way to help me get better. I knew that I wanted to get better. I knew that I wanted to gain weight. I just didn't know how to do it. But thankfully, this one glorious moment, I was scrolling through YouTube, and a YouTuber who I really looked up to had just started their own fitness journey, their own weight gain journey. And they were doing this through eating more and through going to the gym. And that sparked an idea in my own head. However, I had so many questions. What exercises do I do? How do I sign up to a gym? What foods do I eat? What program shall I follow? All of these questions I had, and I had absolutely no answers for them whatsoever. My name is Amy, and I am here to help you start your own fitness journey as a complete beginner. All the questions that you have that you want to ask will all get answered in this video. So step 1 is finding your why. Now, so many people start the gym or start to work out, and so many people stop. And their reason is they don't have a why. I want you to really sit down and really think deeply about why you are starting your fitness journey, why you are starting to go to the gym. Because you're going to have some really, really hard moments in the gym where you're not going to go. And if you remember your why, and you remember why it was that you started, that's going to help you to push through those hard days, and it's going to help you on your fitness journey. I personally started to go to the gym because I didn't want to feel insecure about myself anymore. I had such bad mental health, such bad body image issues, that I wanted to absolutely obliterate these things. I wanted to start to go to the gym to not only improve my physical fitness and improve my physical attraction and how I perceived myself, but I also wanted to go to start to improve my mental health as well. Because while someone can look healthy from the outside, it doesn't mean that they're healthy on the inside, that their soul and that their spirit is healthy. I knew that I wanted to start to push myself to the limits and to ultimately see where I could end up. I wanted to make my future self proud of the progress that I had made. And ultimately, I wanted to find inner peace and happiness. That was my why. That is why I started to go to the gym. I want you to sit down and find a compelling reason as to why you want to start. Don't just make it, I want to be healthy, because anyone can say that, but what does being healthy even indicate? What does it even mean? It's not specific whatsoever. I really want you to sit down and think, why do you want to start going to the gym? Do you want to improve your physical fitness? Do you want to improve your mental health? What is it that you want to start to do and see progress in when you start to go to the gym? Find your why and make it compelling. Step 2 of starting to go to the gym is goal setting. So many people go to the gym, they start their fitness journey, and not only do they not have a why, but they also don't have a goal that they want to accomplish. Or perhaps they do have a goal, like myself, but it's just not very clear, it's very vague, and it's just seemingly a waste of time what this goal is. For me, my goal when I first started my whole fitness journey was to lose weight. That is the most unspecific, unhelpful goal in the whole entire world. Like, what does that even mean, to lose weight? Okay, of course that entitles to lower the number on the scales, but is that body fat? Is that muscle? It's not specific whatsoever, and it's very, very unhelpful, and it's what made me get into a very, very, very bad mental space. Because this goal was so arbitrary and so unattainable that I lost weight, but then didn't feel good enough the way that I was, so then I wanted to lose more weight. But then when I lost more weight, I still didn't feel as though I was good enough, looked, whatever. So then I lost even more weight. And then this goal that I had became so unattainable and so pointless that it led me to having a very bad mental health condition. You need to set a very specific goal that makes sense to you and that it's something that is attainable and that you can set. One of my favourite ways of setting goals is to use the SMART goal method. What SMART goals are is specific, measurable, achievable, relative, relevant, and time-bound. These are all things that will help you to create an actual successful goal. So how exactly do you accumulate all of these things to make the goal what you want? You need to first figure out, do you want to gain weight? Do you want to lose weight? Or do you want to stay the same and just build muscle? You need to figure out one of these goals and stick with it so we can base our SMART goal around this. I will use my goal as an example because it makes explaining this a lot easier. So for me, I wanted to gain weight. And to gain weight, I wanted to add muscle to my frame and minimize fat gain by being in a slight caloric surplus, which means eating more than your body needs, and doing this through weightlifting. So there we have, I want to bulk, I want to gain weight by eating more than my body needs and by weight training. There we already have something pretty specific to go by. So for example, for you, if you wanted to lose weight, yours could be eating in a calorie deficit, which means eating less than your body needs, and by weight training and doing extra cardio. There's already something that you can go off with. Obviously, the specifics of how much cardio, what cardio is what you need to define, but ultimately that allows us to be more specific on what we want. So how are you going to measure this? How are you going to measure this goal? So for me, for bulking, I can measure my goal by tracking my calories, seeing how much food I'm eating and increasing that if the weight on the scales doesn't go up. I can also look at the weight on the scales to ensure that my weight is going up and I am actually gaining muscle and size. I can track my lifts as well. If weight training and gaining strength is something that is important to me, I can also track my lifts, say bench press, squat and deadlift, and see if when I first started I'm now lifting more than what I was at the beginning. And you can do this by using various apps or even just writing things down. And I can also take progress pictures as well to see the progress that I have made in my own development. The same thing could be with you with wanting to lose weight. You could measure this by tracking your calories, by tracking the weight on the scales, by tracking how much cardio you're doing. So perhaps when you first wanted to start losing weight, you could start off with 15 minutes of cardio on the treadmill. And then the next week you could increase this to 20 minutes. It's all stuff that is very measurable and all stuff that is actually useful to attain your ultimate goal. So to be really specific about this, so we have the goal of wanting to bulk up. We know what we can do to track our progress within this. But now I want to be more specific. So I want to bulk up, but what exactly does that mean? So while gaining weight is a great goal to have, how much weight is it that I want to gain? Because again, we could use this with the losing weight example. If you say that I want to lose weight, okay, well, this is all well and good, but how much weight do you actually want to lose? Because if it was anything like me, this could get into a very bad loop and a very bad cycle of you just going round and round in circles of becoming an unhealthy body weight. So for me, I want to gain weight. Okay, so what does this entail? First off, it's safe to gain anywhere from 2 to 4 pounds in a month. So say we're going on the lower end of the spectrum, £2 a month. I want to gain 15 pounds. Okay, so I know that I want to gain 15 pounds. I know that it's safe to gain 2 to 4 pounds each month. We could add an extra layer of this and say I want to gain 15 pounds in the next 9 to 10 months. That is very, very specific and is way more understandable and achievable than just saying I want to gain weight. Because if you say I want to gain weight, well, this could be a process of 2 months. I could eat so much food, gain an unhealthy amount of weight, it all just become excess fat and no muscle being built. And yeah, okay, I might have achieved my goal of gaining weight, but did I really do it in the most optimal way? Or vice versa. I could say, okay, I want to gain weight, and it takes me the next 5 years to gain a pound. Okay, right, that's great, but is it really going to get me on track to my goals? So the same thing can be said for you if you want to lose weight. Okay, so how much weight do you want to lose, and what is a safe time zone to do this in? For me, with bulking, I want to be on a lean bulk. I don't want to be eating way past my calories and just put on a bunch of fat. I want to gain muscle and also gain fat at the same time, because that's just what happens. And I want to do this over a course of a certain amount of time. And this makes your goal way more attainable because you actually have something that you can track progress with and have an exact end goal to when you want this to end. Of course, 10 months could be 12 months, but it's better than having no months at all. So to fully outline my whole goal here, my goal is to gain 15 pounds in the next 10 months by being on a lean bulk, so eating in a slight calorie surplus, whilst weightlifting, adding progressive overload to my lifts to see my strength go up as well. This goal here is a very good goal to have. Obviously, you could probably make it more specific. You can probably add different things here and there if you really wanted to do that. But if ultimately you have a goal that is very specific, very measurable, and has a time frame to the whole thing, this is a perfect goal. It's something that you can stick to, you can follow with, and you can make progress on, and it's not just something that you're going to go around in circles with, like my previous goal of wanting to lose weight. This goal is a lot more reliable, it's a lot more attainable, it's something that I can actually strive for. Step 3, where to find the time. Okay, so you have your why, it's very compelling, it motivates you. You also have a goal, you know exactly what you need to do, how to get there, and what the time frame is for this goal. Now, ultimately, you have to find time within your busy week of when you can actually fit in going to the gym. You've got a job, you've got school, you've got college, you've got parents, you've got pets, you've got all these things in your life. You now need to find time where you can go to the gym. First of all, eliminate video games, TV, phone scrolling. Those are the very easy things that you can replace and use the gym with instead. You need to ultimately look through your week and find specific days each week and specific times within that day that you can dedicate to go to the gym. I personally recommend so much that when you first start, you stick with the exact same days every week and the exact same time of day every week. So, for example, if you can go to the gym on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, exactly on a morning straight after you have woke up, I recommend doing that every single day for the next however long until you become very consistent and disciplined in the gym. This is just because you form a habit this way. It's less of okay, so maybe I could fit the gym in on Monday evening and then maybe I could go on Wednesday morning. That's just too much. You need to pick the same days every week and the same time of day every week, and then you are set. And within this time frame, no one can distract you. You are gonna go and you're gonna do your workout. That is what this is for. This is no wishy-washy, maybes now, maybes then, because the maybes turn into nevers. And if this is something that you are really passionate with, you really want to focus on your fitness, then you're gonna have to find some dedicated time each week, the same days, same time of day, to really go to the gym. This is how you become consistent, and this is how a habit forms. Step 3.1 is the obstacles that you're going to face and how to overcome them. So, of course, when you start to go to the gym, there's going to be many obstacles. Like I said, there's going to be people who are going to contact you. There's going to be days when you just can't be bothered to go. But we're going to have to face these obstacles. I want you to sit down and think about what obstacles you could face. So is there going to be some months where you're going to be busier than others? Are you going to go away on holidays? Are there going to be friends or family in your life which could distract you during this time? I really want you to think about some obstacles that you can face and how you can overcome them. So for example, if you're going away on holiday, how can you lessen the friction from when you come back to get back into the gym? So first things first is, if you go away on holiday, if it's a holiday that you are planning, you could pick somewhere where a gym is nearby. Or you could simply find some bodyweight exercises that you can continue doing whilst you're away on holiday. Pick out some things in your life where obstacles could be faced, what challenges you could face, and how you can work around them. For example, if you have socialization with friends, invite them to the gym with you, or tell them, okay, between the hours of X and Y, I'm going to be at the gym, please don't contact me. Just simple things in your life that could be obstacles that you're going to face, and find ways to overcome them. For example, there's going to be a lot of friction when you first start to actually get yourself in the gym, perhaps, if you're not particularly motivated. Something that you can do to overcome this, reduce the friction that it takes for you to go from being in the house or at work to the gym. This could be something as simple as, if you go to the gym first thing on a morning, you could make your gym bag and you could make your pre-workout or whatever it is the night before, and then place it at your front door or in your car ready, so when you wake up, it's there and you can just go straight to the gym. Because if you have to wake up on a morning and you have to make the decision of what gym clothes to wear, you have to then fill your water bottle, or you have to get the food ready, or you have to get your shoes out. It's all extra, it's really, really small things, but it's all things that are gonna add up to make you less likely to go to the gym. Whereas if the night before you have your bag packed, you've got your water ready in the fridge, it's so easy for you to just wake up, pick up the bag, grab your water, go out, go to the gym. It's so much less friction, and because it's already there ready for you, it's like I've got to go now kind of thing. It's almost like set the goal of intending to just step into the gym, and once you're in the gym, everything becomes so much easier. Step 3.2 is now actually signing up to a gym. Now it's choosing which gym to go to. The easiest thing that you can do, pop up Google Maps on your phone right now, or any form of map app, I guess, and literally just search gym. And it'll pop up with a bunch of gyms that are near you. I recommend you find the one that's closest to you and buy a membership for a month. After that month, you can decide whether you want to try another gym, etc., etc. If this is something that you really want to do, I recommend just as soon as possible going onto their website or walking in and just asking for a membership. If you have Pure Gym or some other form of commercial gym near where you live, you can simply just sign up on their website, which reduces even more friction. You don't have to be like, I've got to talk to someone, I've got to do this. You literally just get up on your phone, type in Pure Gym, sign up, create an account, it gives you your PIN, and you're ready to just go there straight the next morning. Again, this is less friction than perhaps having to walk into a local gym and been like, hi, could I have a membership please for a month? Yep. Thank you. It makes it that little bit less awkward. And that's it. You've signed up for a gym. Now it's time to go. And you may be asking yourself, what on earth? What workout program do I follow? Where on earth do I go with this? And this is where step 4 comes in. What workout program suits you the best? By figuring out how many days a week you can dedicate to the gym is then where your workout program will come in handy. If you can only work out 3 days a week, I'm going to put you on a full body split 3 days a week, but one's going to be push focused, one's going to be pull focused, and one is going to be leg focused. If you can dedicate to 4 days a week, you're going to go on a upper lower program. If you can dedicate 5 days a week, you're going to go on a upper lower push pull legs program. And if you can dedicate to 6 days a week, you're going to do push pull legs, rest, repeat. And I want to point out, I have made a program for each of these splits. It's going to be in the description below. You don't need to give me your email, literally just click on the link and there's going to be a full Google Drive of documents of a 3-day, 4-day, 5-day and 6-day gym split. And you're just going to click on it and then follow the workouts when you get there. Just to make this step have even less friction, I just wanted to give you something for free that you can use and that you just have straight at your hand when you go into the gym. And that's pretty much it for devising a workout program. If this is something that you really want to do on your own and you don't want to follow what I have, like I say, 3 days, just search full body split. If you can do 4 days, just search upper lower split on Google, on YouTube, on anywhere. Literally go on YouTube, go on Reddit. There's this really good website, which I'll link below, that you can click on and search for workouts on there. Use the internet to your advantage. Don't just think to yourself, okay, I can now go 3 days a week and then step into the gym and have absolutely no idea what you're going to do. You need to have a workout program that you can follow with exercises on there for you to do to actually make any progress in the gym. I think another thing that I recommend for doing this is to just start. A lot of people really build up the gym and think it's like this big, massive next step in their life. Literally just go. Literally just take the time to step into the gym. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just step into the gym and start. That's how you're going to make the most progress. A lot of people talk about the most optimal program, the most optimal exercises, the most optimal this, the most optimal that. But in reality, the most optimal thing is what works for you. It's what you enjoy doing. Anyone can create the most optimal thing ever, but if it's not something that you're going to do and that you're not going to enjoy to do, is it really optimal then? Like, no, of course it's not. It might be optimal for you, it might be the most optimal for the best muscle growth or whatever, but if you're not enjoying it and you're not going to stick to it, then you're not going to make any muscle anyways. So just figure out something that works for you, find out something that you enjoy doing and stick with that. But ultimately, if you want to make this really easy and have exercises and a program that you can stick to, there's my free stuff in the description below. Step 5, finding out what exercises to do. This might be the most challenging step in my opinion, because there are so many exercises out there for each muscle group. There's so many workout programs that you can follow, and picking and choosing exercises is really difficult. This is also another reason why I created this program for you, because again, it reduces that friction of picking which exercises to do. I would say, even if you have picked what workout program you want to follow and what exercises you're going to do, I would say for the first week or the first 2 weeks even, literally go into the gym, look at what specific muscle part that the machine trains and just mess around on a bunch of the machines and have fun figuring out what each machine does and if you can feel it, you know, in the muscle that it says. So if, for example, you have said that you can dedicate 6 days to the gym and today is push day, you're going to be focused on machines that train your chest, shoulders and your triceps. Literally go in, be like a kid in a playground, and look at a machine, be like, all right, okay, so that works my chest, go on it, have fun, just have fun with it. And then the next day when you have pull day where you'll be training back and biceps, go in and find things that train your back and your biceps and just have fun. Ultimately, again, use the internet to your advantage. Have fun for the first 2 weeks, figure out what exercises you enjoy to do, figure out what exercises you don't enjoy, and stick with the ones that you do enjoy to keep making this a regular thing that you do. Once you become a little bit more advanced and you know what exercises train certain parts of that muscle group, you can then switch in and swap out exercises in my workout program that you prefer. So for example, I have barbell squat as an exercise to do, but if you prefer a goblet squat or a hack squat, you can swap out the barbell squat instead. Just ultimately do some form of squatting movement. That's what's most important. Again, for biceps, I might have a seated bicep curl, but if you find that you don't feel it in your biceps, but yet you find a cable bicep curl to have more of a mind-muscle engagement, then stick with the bicep cable curl. Ultimately, the first few weeks is just figuring out what exercises you enjoy doing. Step 5.1, form. How do you do a squat? How do you bench press with correct form without injuring yourself? Form is one of the most important things for you when you go to the gym. I see so many people at the gym lifting weights that they cannot lift and just not doing the correct form whatsoever. You want to focus on your form when you first start. Like, that is the most important thing. I very vividly remember when I first started going to the gym, I didn't know how much I could lift because I'm a woman and I was very, very skinny. So I would literally go onto the machine, take the pin out of the machine and just use the machine without any weight whatsoever. I think when you're first starting, focusing on your form and figuring out how much weight you can lift is also something that is so, so important. Like squats, for example, I was petrified of using the barbell, so I stuck with using the Smith machine at first for squats. Just finding exercises that you are comfortable with and figuring out how to do the exercise properly is so important. I would definitely say the 3 most important exercises that form is like vital with is squat, barbell bench press and deadlift. And the reason that I say these 3 is because they are the ones that if you get wrong, you could seriously injure yourself with. And everything else, form is very, very important, but these are less likely to cause you injuries, whereas squat, bench and deadlift are ones that are so important and vital on form that watch tutorials on them. Don't just pick up the bar and start lifting, watch tutorials and listen to what people have to say. Again, I'll leave links in the description of good tutorials on these 3 compound movements, but ultimately your form is so important. Forget about the weight, like ignore the weight. It doesn't matter if you can lift 2 kilo or 200 kilo. If your form is perfect and you have a really good mind-muscle connection, then that's all you need to worry about. Nobody in the gym actually gives a crap about how much weight you can lift. Like, I'd rather go and see someone lift 5 kilo perfectly than see someone lifting like 200 kilo and they look like they're about to break their back and it's just like horrendous to watch. Like yeah, weight is not important, form is. Step 5.2, taking things step by step. As I mentioned, just getting started in the gym is the most important thing ever. You know, there's all of these things that you can look at and think are big and scary, like form, getting injuries, and all the rest of this stuff. Injuries are not going to happen a first time round of doing something bad. It's usually a build-up of collectively doing a bad thing repetitively. So don't worry too much when you first start about having 1000% perfect form. Just ensure that what you're doing isn't hurting, basically. And taking things one step at a time is really where things are important. You have your workout plan, you have the exercises that you're going to do, you now know about form, you now know how many reps and sets of each exercise you need to do. And all of these things can feel really, really overwhelming and you're not really sure where to begin. You know, a whole 1 hour workout seems like a lot at the moment. Now, instead of looking at it this way, just take things step by step. Perhaps start off with 2 exercises in your plan for the day and then build up to doing everything. Because the more that you see the gym as been something scary and something that is a lot to do, the less likely that you're going to want to go. If you take things step by step, that's when you're going to get into the flow of going to the gym. The first step could be filling up your water bottle. Right, okay, check, done that. The second step could be getting your bag ready. Okay, check, done that. The third step could be getting a gym playlist ready. Okay, check, done that. The fourth step could be getting in your car. Okay, check, done that. The fifth step could be actually stepping into the gym. Okay, check, done that. And when you're then at the gym, your next step could be doing 1 rep, 1 set of an exercise. Okay, check, done that. Well, now that you're at the gym, now that you've done a set of an exercise, you may as well just continue with the rest of the workout. And when you first start the gym, yes, I know I've given you a full workout plan, but you don't have to do every single thing on this plan. For the first few months, the first few weeks, stick with a couple of the exercises. If I've got 3 chest exercises on a certain workout program, maybe it's just do 2, maybe it's just even do 1. The main thing at the moment is to just start. Just get started. As soon as you've started, that's when the momentum gets going. Don't focus on doing a full hour or 2-hour workout. Focus on going in the gym for 10 minutes. If you make a habit consistent, 10 minutes will turn into 20 minutes, 20 minutes will turn into 30 minutes, and before you know it, you're doing your full workout. People think that when they start the gym, they have to go and do a really long, grueling, intense 2-hour workout. That's not the case whatsoever. You could literally go into the gym, do 2 exercises, be the most unsweaty, unexhausted person ever, and that's still a success because you are more likely doing that gonna make progress than the person who goes in for 2 hours every single day. Because look at it this way, who's gonna be more successful? The person that starts with doing 2-hour workouts and goes every single day, or the person that does a 20-minute workout and goes every single day, but gradually builds it up. Of course, this person's going to be more successful because they know that as long as they've gone to the gym, that's a success in itself. Whereas the person who's doing 2 hours is going to get so sick and tired of those 2 hours that they're not going to want to go anymore. They're going to be so tired, so far off of caring about the gym that they're going to stop going. So make the sessions short at first, make them, not intense whatsoever. Gradually build up intensity and gradually build up time. And that's how you get into a good flow of the gym. Step 5.3. What are sets and what are reps? You're gonna see a lot of 4x12s, 3x10s, hearing the words reps and sets, and you're probably thinking, what on earth does that even mean? A rep is simply just one completion of the movement. So 1 rep of bicep curls would literally be that. 1 rep of a squat would be that. That's literally it. And on the workout program, the reps is the number that is bigger. So for example, if it's 3x12, the 12 would be how many reps you do. Whereas sets is how many blocks of that exercise you do. So if you have 3x12 on lying hamstring machine, you would do 12 reps of that exercise, rest, and then do another 2 sets of that exercise. So in total, that would be 3 sets. So you would do 12 reps, rest, 12 reps, rest, 12 reps, next exercise. That's essentially all reps and sets are. I thought I would just clear that up in case anyone's confused. So if you see things like 4x10, 3x15, the 4 is how many sets of the exercise you do, and the higher number, the 12, 10, 8, 15, is the amount of reps that you do of that specific exercise. Step 6, increasing the weight and adding progressive overload. So you're in the gym, you've been consistent with it, you're loving it, you're enjoying it, but now you want to get stronger, you want to see that weight go up, you want to see some increase in strength. How do you do that? Through progressive overload. You might be asking, okay, what is progressive overload? There's a few different ways to define progressive overload, a few different ways that you can achieve progressive overload. Progressive overload is essentially how much added force or weight has been added to certain muscles. This might seem a little bit confusing, but when I explain it, it'll make more sense. Something that's really important in the gym is that you're not just sticking with the same weight and, the same sets and reps. This isn't going to get you towards your goal. If your goal is to get bigger and to gain strength, sticking with the same reps, the same sets, the same weight isn't going to get you anywhere. You're not going to have a physique that you're proud of if you're just sticking with the same thing that you've been doing forever. So to add progressive overload, you can do this in a few forms. The first way of adding progressive overload is very simple. Just add more weight. So if currently your squat is 30 kilo, simply add another 5 kilo on each side. Now your squat's 40 kilo. Obviously there's a lot more to this because the weight's going to be heavier, you might not be able to do as many reps or as many sets, but obviously that will change as you do it more. So the first simple way of adding progressive overload is to simply just add extra weight. The second way of adding progressive overload is increasing the amount of sets that you do, or increasing the amount of reps. So say for example, you do 3 sets of squat for 10 reps. To add progressive overload to this, you could do 3 sets of squats for 12 reps, or you could do 4 sets of squats for 10 reps. Simply just switching up how many reps or how many sets of a specific weight that you do can also increase progressive overload. So for example, this is a very basic way of how I would do progressive overload. I would start off with doing 30 kilo on squats for 15 reps. I would then increase the weight to 50 kilo and focus on doing 12 reps. I would then increase the weight to 60 kilo and do 10 reps. And then on the last set, I would then do another 60 kilo and say do 10 reps. When you finally have a weight that you start to get, 8 to 12 reps on, that's when you then want to increase the weight and focus on doing less reps. But then, once you've been doing that weight for a little while, say you can now do 70 kilo on squats for 5 reps, then add 1 more rep. Even just 1 more rep can increase your muscle growth. And then once you can do 70 kilo for 6 reps, go up to 70 kilo for 7 reps. And just simply adding more sets and more reps of a specific weight can also increase your chances of progressive overload and increasing your strength. Another way is by increasing time under tension. What is time under tension? Time under tension is how long your muscle has been used for, essentially. So when you're doing squats, instead of coming straight up when you're at the bottom, you could perhaps stay in a squatted position and stay there for a couple of seconds and then push yourself up. You hear a lot of people talk about time under tension, and it's just essentially like how long your muscle has been used for. So another example could be when you do bicep curls. Instead of going straight down and straight back up, you could go down really, really slowly for say 4 or 5 seconds, and then bring the weight straight back up. That's all time under tension is. And you can do this by increasing that. So say for example, you do bicep curls, you go straight down, straight up. To add progressive overload, you could really go slowly down for say 4 seconds and then come up. And then the next time you do it, you could say go down for 5 seconds. And again, another way of simply adding progressive overload. Another way that you can add progressive overload is to decrease your rest period. This adds more hypertrophy to the muscle, and it means that your muscle is under stimulus for a longer amount of time instead of letting it rest. So this is also another way that you can add progressive overload. I personally don't really do this one very often. I like to rest until I feel rested, ready to lift again, because I usually focus on adding progressive overload, the first 2 methods, the most, as I find that's what is the best for me. But of course this could be something that works really, really well for you, so just experiment with all of these. And lastly, Another way that you can add progressive overload is to switch up your workout program. Now, this is a one that I would not recommend doing until like very, very last minute. Like, say for example, you've been on the same program for like 3 or 4 months, then that's when I'd probably recommend changing it up. Say for example, you're on like a 3-day split and you've been doing this for like 3 or 4 months. That is when I would then recommend to switch up your workout program, because you can change it to 4 days now and focus on adding more days in where you can actually go to the gym. But like I say, for me, this is pretty much a last minute resort and I don't often totally change up my workout program. Step 7, diet and nutrition. Now, I would just like to say this is something that is absolutely massive to talk about. It can be a very, very heavy subject for people. I know a lot of the times with food and diet and nutrition, it can cause people a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of like guilt can be brought up talking about food and nutrition. I'm gonna make this step really, really simple for you. First things first, stick with whole foods. What are whole foods, you might be asking? They are simply just foods that are in their base ingredient form. These are things such as vegetables, fruits, oats, rice, meats, fish. Anything that is just simply one ingredient is usually the best to stick with. That's not to say you can't add soy sauce, you can't add herbs and seasonings to things. That's not what we're going with. That's not to say you can't go out and enjoy a good meal with your family. That's not what I'm saying. But in general, you just want to stick with eating one base ingredients food. That's it. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Also just try and keep away from sugar, not too hard. Replace foods such as normal chocolate with dark chocolate. It's so much nicer, by the way. Everyone says that I'm weird for liking dark chocolate, but don't knock it until you try it. 90% dark chocolate is the best thing to roam this earth ever. It's so good and no one understands how good it is. Ultimately, just try and keep away from sugar, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun and experiment and bake and make your own foods. For me, diet and nutrition needs to be fun. Have fun making your own meals. Have fun creating your own desserts. Have fun and go out with your friends and enjoy a treat. Don't eat sugar every single day, but never ever don't eat sugar ever. Like, just know and find a balance on when you can eat sugar, and know and find a balance on when you need to focus more on your diet. Have fun in the kitchen, make it easy for you to do, and make it something that is enjoyable. Don't stress yourself out about diet. If you find that you're stressing yourself out about your diet, take a step back, evaluate why this may be, and then focus back on it. I don't want anyone watching this video to get into bad ways of eating and disordered ways of eating because they're so focused on their diet and nutrition. Don't do that whatsoever. If food isn't something that's triggering for you, that's phenomenal. Something that I do really recommend for a lot of people is to not only make a meal plan so that you can stick with eating the same things every day and you know what to eat, but I also recommend meal prepping as well, because me personally, I'm such an indecisive person, and I know for a fact that if I was to every single day make different foods, I wouldn't have a clue what to eat, because I'd fancy a burger, but then the next moment I'd probably fancy pasta, but then the next moment I'd probably fancy chicken, rice and broccoli. So for me, if I meal prep and just have it in the fridge, I eliminate my decision factors, I eliminate my decision fatigue. It's right there, it's ready for me to eat. I just have to take it out of the fridge, eat it and open it. So I highly recommend that if, nutrition and food and your diet is really, really important to you, meal prep. Because it makes things so much easier, especially if you're bulking and especially if you're cutting. Basically, if you're doing anything, just meal prep. Like bulking for me, you have to figure out how much of this you need to eat, how much of that you need to eat, and it just makes things really hard. But if you just have everything prepped and ready, you can just take it out the fridge and eat it. Same as a meal plan. If you know exactly what you're going to eat, the times of days that you're going to do it, it just makes life so much easier. If you are interested in a meal plan and, you want something to follow along to, I'll also leave my meal plan. This is exactly what I eat in a day. I'll leave that in the description below and you can just follow that. You can change how many grams of stuff you have. You can change what types of proteins you have, etc., etc. The meal plan is just there for your disposal if you would like to use it. But that meal plan that's in the description is exactly what I'm eating right now. I mean, not like right now, but like my current meal plan, basically. Step 8, finding discipline when you no longer have motivation. When you first start the gym, it's so exciting, it's new, it's energizing, you have so much motivation to want to go to the gym, to keep seeing progress, etc., etc. However, when you've been going for a little while, this motivation starts to wear off, it starts to wear thin, and you're gonna have days when you just do not want to go to the gym, especially on leg day. No one has this issue on push day, but on leg day, you're gonna have some struggles to get yourself up off your ass and go to the gym. And this is where discipline comes in. Motivation is simply a feeling. It is fleeting, it's here, it's nor there. But discipline is something that is set in stone and something that you choose to do. Discipline is doing something hard when you don't feel like it. It's pushing yourself and using your body, not your mind or your feelings, to go and do something. Motivation is going to come, but it's also going to go. Whereas discipline is something that you can rely on all of the time. When you have the motivation, brilliant, use it, harness it, keep that motivation for as long as you can. But when it goes, don't feel disappointed, don't not go to the gym, just understand that it's going to be a low moment, but you have the discipline there to keep yourself going to the gym, and also know that that motivation will come back. Motivation is usually a big curve like this, it comes in its peaks and then it's not there whatsoever. And on those days when it's not there, that's when you need to tap into discipline. This is where forming habits, in creating things that give you less friction in your day, come into place. This is where making that gym bag the night before comes in. This is where habit stacking comes in. This is where having the exact days and exact times of when you go to the gym come in. Because it's all these small things that seemingly don't make a difference that actually add up to help discipline be so much easier. If you are very fleeting with your gym sessions because you don't have the motivation, you're never going to see any progress. Whereas when you have those days where you're like, I really can't be bothered to go, but you're like, okay, it's a Wednesday, it's the morning, but I've got to go, and you go, you're going to feel so much better once you've gone. Because the likelihood is, this is usually what happens to me. Okay, so it's a Wednesday, it's leg day, I really can't be bothered, but I go, I do the leg day, I listen to good music, and afterwards I'm like, do you know what? I had an absolutely smashing workout today. I actually really enjoyed that. That's usually what happens on those days that you can't be bothered. You're really proud of yourself and you feel really achieved afterwards once you've done the workout. It's so hard when you wake up and you've got a leg day and you're like, no! But then afterwards you're like, you know what, I'm really glad, I'm really proud of myself. I actually did that workout even though I really couldn't be bothered to do it. That is where growth in the gym comes from. That is where you are going to see the most progress. Because it's so easy to just say, oh, okay, I can't be bothered for leg day, I'm not going to do it. That's so easy to do. But am I going to make any progress that way? Are these glutes going to get any bigger? No! So I got to go to the gym. I got to go make some glute growth, even when I can't be bothered. So I pick a good gym playlist, I find something that motivates me and I get going and I just do it. That's the whole point of the gym, is to just do it. And afterwards, that's when the rewards come. That's when you're going to feel proud. That's when you're going to feel achieved. That's when you're going to see progress. Something for me I find really important is when you do have a lack of motivation, is finding things where you can pick motivation from. Perhaps it's creating a new gym playlist. Perhaps it's watching your favourite gym YouTuber complete a workout and listen to the music that they listen to and get really excited and motivated to go to your gym session. Again, habit stacking, something that increases your discipline as well. If your morning routine is wake up, brush teeth, go to the toilet, meditate, go to the gym, after gym, have lunch, do some work, it's all part of your day. It becomes part of your daily structure. It gives you something to do. And habit stacking makes this a lot easier because it's already a part of your day. It's already just something that you do. So always remember that when motivation is fleeting, you have discipline to have to back up with. Step 9, make it fun. This kind of links in with the last point that I made of discipline, because like I said, there's going to be days when you don't want to go. However, if you can make your gym sessions fun and find different things that add livelihood to your gym session, that's going to make it so much easier to get into the gym. For example, make your gym your playground. I did this today. I was doing a upper body day and I wanted to just like hang from the bar, but then as I was like hanging from the bar, I like started like swinging back and forth on the bar, and like I just started to have fun, and I was laughing at myself in the gym. Literally, have actual fun while you're at the gym. Do daft things while you're there. Listen to music and start to dance. Like, just have fun and don't be too serious with the gym. Yeah, of course, you know, you're there to make strength gains and focus on your form and all the rest of this stuff, but also ensure that you're actually having fun while you're at the gym. This could be as simple as creating a new gym playlist to get you hyped and motivated. It could also be inviting a friend to a gym session. Me and my best friend go to the gym regularly, at least like once or twice a week, and it makes the gym session feel a lot less like a gym session. It feels like I'm just having fun hanging out with my friend, and then your friend's there to push you and motivate you. I remember once I was on like this chest press machine, and my best friend was saying to me like, one more, and then I'd do one more, and she's like, one more, and then I'd do one more, and she's like, one more, and then it's like you keep going until like failure really hits, and it just makes the gym session so much more fun and so much more lively. Another thing that you could do is to make a gym session fun, to get that motivation back, buy a new gym t-shirt, buy a new set of socks or some new like wrist straps. I don't know, just like find something to make your gym session more fun. Always track your lifts, always track what you're doing, see if progressive overload is happening, focus on your form, but ultimately make sure that everything that you're doing is fun and that you're doing it for a reason. You're remembering your why, you're focusing on your goal, and you're having fun. Because that's the most important thing. That's where you're going to see the most progress, is when you're having fun. Because I often find as soon as I go into the gym and I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'm working out, blah, 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 I stop caring as much and I'm not having as much fun. I stop really seeing progress. Whereas when I'm having fun, I'm dancing, I'm singing, I'm laughing away at myself or with my best friend, that's when progress is made, because that's when you're having the most fun and the most livelihood is brought into your life. That is my full beginner's gym guide to starting the gym. To start going from not knowing what on earth you're doing to becoming not an expert, but to know pretty well what you're doing. You know, that this is the point where I'm at in my gym career. Not a career, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, this is the point where I'm at. Like, I first had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I didn't have any idea on how to gain weight. I didn't have any idea what on earth progressive overload was, what reps and sets were. Like, what on earth does that 4x12, like 4x12, what does that even mean? Like, this is all stuff that I've had to learn myself. But if I can give you everything that I've learned that I've found difficult, if I can give that to you, then hopefully you have an actual base starting point to see progress from. Like, when I first started, I think I was about 44 kilo, and now I'm roughly like, I did get to 55 kilo, but then I went to a summer camp and lost 5. So I'm now roughly like 51, 52 kilo. And I've made so much progress all through just my own knowledge. And if I can spread that knowledge to you and at least help like one person get started, that would be phenomenal. Like I say, there's going to be all those things in the description for you. There's going to be the workout programs. There's going to be the meal, diet, prep thing. There's going to be the form videos, and I'm also going to even leave my own gym playlist in the description for you as well. Like, if you like rap music or you like hardstyle music, I'll leave 2 different playlists in the description. Again, some less friction for you to start. You've got a playlist simply set up there for you, but I do find making the playlist is really fun. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope that it has been really, really beneficial and, you know, helpful to at least one person out there. If you do have any other questions, like whatsoever, just leave them in the comments and I will reply. If I don't actually know the answer, I'll refer you to somewhere that does know the answer. And yeah, if you did find this helpful, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day, have a wonderful week, and I will see you all in another video.